Pope Leo used his Christmas sermon to turn a familiar, solemn liturgy into a direct appeal about Gaza, urging the world not to look away from people living in displacement. He drew on the Nativity story, God pitching a fragile tent among humanity, to argue that Christmas makes little sense if suffering is treated as distant background noise. In language that stood out for its clarity, he pointed to the reality of families forced into makeshift shelter and asked how believers can celebrate hope while ignoring conditions that strip people of safety and dignity. The speech did more than express compassion. Leo emphasized that peace cannot be reduced to pauses between bursts of violence, and that lasting stability requires political decision. He widened the frame to include global homelessness and the human cost borne by civilians and young soldiers, warning against narratives that normalize brutality. The message was both pastoral and strategic. He spoke to consciences, but also to leaders, signaling that moral concern has to translate into practical pathways that prevent the next cycle. For listeners, the most striking element is the contrast between the setting and the subject. St. Peter's Basilica on Christmas is designed for timeless ritual. Yet the Pope insisted on naming a present crisis. The takeaway is that this papacy appears willing to place modern conflict at the center of religious reflection, and to ask a hard question: if Christmas is about shelter, mercy, and human worth, what is a demand of the world right now?